The wind howled across the barren plains as the lonely ranch house stood stubbornly against the winter dusk. Inside, Caleb Turner sat at the kitchen table, staring at a Halferton ad for a live-in cook. Ever since his wife passed 3 winters ago, the big house had turned into a cold shell. He didn't need much, just warm meals, someone to talk to, and maybe a bit of laughter echoing down the long, silent hallways. His calloused fingers tapped the pen against the wood, when a faint knock echoed through the hallway. It was soft, hesitant, not the kind of knock you'd expect from someone answering a job post. He opened the door, and there she stood, barely 20 by the looks of her, drenched in melting snow, shivering violently, and clutching a bundle wrapped in a thin blanket. Her eyes were wide with fear and exhaustion. "Please," she whispered, we need help." Caleb's first instinct was confusion. This wasn't the cook he was expecting, but something about the girl, her desperation, her trembling lips, the baby's soft whimper cut through his judgment. Without a word, he stepped aside and let her in. He led her to the fireplace and handed her one of his thick wool blankets. As the girl sat down, her shoulders relaxed slightly from the warmth, but her eyes never stopped scanning the room. "I'm Caleb," he said, gently. "What's your name?" She hesitated. "Call me Lily." Her voice was so low, it barely floated past the crackling fire. "Is that your baby?" he asked. She nodded, slowly. "His name's Noah." There was a pause. "I don't mean to intrude. I'll leave by morning. Just needed somewhere safe tonight." Caleb didn't press. He brought her soup, dry clothes, and a pillow. As she drifted to sleep with the baby beside her, Caleb sat in the rocking chair, questions swirling in his mind. Why was a young girl out here in the middle of nowhere during a snowstorm? Why no luggage, no car? And why did her story feel incomplete? By morning, the snow hadn't let up. Caleb made coffee and tried not to look like he was watching her too closely. Lily helped without asking, cleaning dishes, folding the blanket neatly, heating milk for Noah. She moved around the kitchen like she had once belonged in one. Caleb finally said, "You're welcome to stay longer. I still need a cook." She froze. "I can cook," she said, hesitantly. "I just don't want trouble." But he noticed she grew quiet that evening, glancing out the window more than usual. Something was coming, something she feared. That night, as Noah cried and Lily rocked him silently, Caleb gently said, "I don't know what you're running from, but if someone's looking for you, if you re-endanger you, Dante, have to face it alone." Her hands trembled. She opened her mouth, then closed it. Tears welled in her eyes. "You're the first person who's been kind to me," she whispered. "But you don't know who I am, what I've done. If they find me here, they might hurt you too." The next morning, the dark sedan returned closer. This time, Caleb saw it parked at the edge of the forest line, the engine off, no movement. He went inside, locking the door. Lily stood pale, holding Noah tight. "That's them," she breathed. Caleb grabbed his old rifle from the wall. "No one's taking you from this house. Not without a fight." But she stopped him. "No, you don't understand. If they see a man with a gun, they'll call the police, and then everything will unravel. I didn't steal money. I didn't hurt anyone, but I did escape someone powerful. Caleb's jaw clenched. Tell me everything, now. Lily sank onto the couch, the fire casting shadows across her face as the truth unraveled. She was the daughter-in-law of a prominent city politician, a man beloved by the media but feared by those who knew him behind closed doors. Her husband, Andrew, had been charming at first, but after their wedding, the masks came off, controlling, violent, and his father even worse. When Lily discovered she was pregnant, she knew Noah wouldn't be safe. She planned an escape for months. The night she fled, Andrew had struck her hard. She left with a swollen lip, a few dollars, and hope that somewhere, unwhere, was safer than his house. They'll spin a story, she said, voice cracking, that I'm mentally unfit, that I kidnapped Noah, that I'm dangerous. And people will believe them because they're rich, and I'm just a runaway. Caleb's heart pounded with rage, but he kept his voice calm. They don't scare me. We'll go to the sheriff, tell the truth. But Lily shook her head. You think justice works for people like me? They'll twist the truth, and the moment I'm arrested, Noah's theirs. That night, Caleb couldn't sleep. He kept replaying her words. He had known loss, deep, bitter loss, when his wife died. But now he felt something else, purpose, the kind he hadn't known in years. When morning came, he made a decision. He drove into town, met an old friend who worked quietly for a family court lawyer, and explained the situation carefully, without names. The friend agreed to help. We'll need evidence, photos, medical reports, something to prove the abuse. Caleb returned to the ranch and found Lily packing. She had seen the car, again closer, this time. I can't risk you too, she said. I'll keep running. Hours passed, then a day. On the second day, Caleb received a call from Lily's lawyer. They tried to file for full custody, but we intercepted it. She's safe. She went to a shelter that works with women like her. Caleb drove straight there. When Lily saw him at the gate, she broke down in tears. I thought I was doing the right thing by disappearing. He smiled. You forgot one thing. I'm not letting you go. The lawyer helped rush the case. Lily gave testimony. The court heard recordings. Her husband's public image cracked. The bruises, the threats, the control. Everything surfaced. Within weeks, the court granted her emergency custody of Noah and a restraining order against Andrew. Back on the ranch, spring had begun to melt the snow. Caleb rebuilt the old garden. Lily started humming again in the kitchen. Noah took his first steps on the porch. The house no longer echoed. It breathed. One evening, under the soft golden sky, Lily turned to Caleb and said, "You changed everything. You believed in me when no one else did." Caleb took her hand gently. "And you reminded me what it means to feel alive again."